Mission accomplished for the Atlanta Braves. They take all three at home in Atlanta against the New York Mets. MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, and we are underway.
When that final out is made, you know it's time for Locked On MLB Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. Prepare to experience game day reactions like never before. Only on Locked On MLB Game Night. Your team every day.
Back at it and ready to go. He is Lindsay Crosby, host of the Locked On Atlanta Braves postcast. You can follow Lindsay on the X at Crosby Baseball. I'm Steve Lenox, host of the Locked On Red Sox postcast. You can follow me on the X at Lenox on Baseball. Lindsay, the Yankees avoid being swept at home by the Angels. Jac Caglianone hits his first 2 big league home runs. And James Wood decides 11 is enough for the Nationals as he goes yard and ends their 11-game losing streak. We get into all of those games, plus the Braves completing their series sweep over the Mets in Atlanta on Thursday. We are presented by Game Night. Download the Game Time app, create your account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off on your first purchase. Lindsay, we're still in June. We haven't hit the July 4th holiday, but this is a series that was as must-win as there could be for the Atlanta Braves. Mission accomplished. They take all three. They got the pitching. They got enough hitting. And on Thursday, Spencer Strider got the job done.
Yeah, 7-1 for the Braves. Strider goes 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, strikes out 8. Fastball velocity, another season high for his average here. And the thing for Atlanta, right, Alex Anthopoulos talked about this to the media on the radio, I think on Wednesday. Like they're trying to do things to show this team that, hey, we have the confidence that you can make a run, that you can still be in the playoffs. And going against the number 1 team in the East and not only beating them, but sweeping them. Atlanta's now won 3 straight series. They've won 6 of their last 8 games. Chris Sale's doing what he does. Spencer Strider's looking good now. It feels like Atlanta has the momentum behind Ronald Acuna Jr. to start making a run. They'll play Miami this weekend, and then they've got 4 more against the Mets, and then 3 against Philly. So at the end of the month, we'll know one way or the other if this team can do it. But it feels like after this series, feels like they can.
And they've dug themselves out of a hole already once. And now, within striking distance of 500, they've got to feel good going into the weekend against Miami. Don't worry about the Mets series until Monday. But you go in here, you've won 3 against the Mets. Now you go take 2 out of 3, and you can scoreboard watch. It's early for that, but we still love to do it. Mets-Phillies getting underway Friday as well. So it could be the Phillies and Braves continuing to gain ground in the NL East.
Yeah, and like the Braves are already just 5.5 back in the wild card now as well. I mean, they are 5 games below 500, and they are right there for being contending back in the postseason picture. I think Padres and Giants are like in that last spot right now. So they absolutely feel like, hey, we can handle the Marlins this weekend. They've adjusted the rotation to get Strider, Schwellenbach, and Sale against the Mets again next week. So you kind of get the B team this weekend, spot start from a prospect tomorrow. But the idea here is, we handle our business against Miami. We get to do this again just in New York this time versus the Mets, while they are stuck playing Philly this weekend, to your point.
Mets during this current 6-game losing streak, just 14 runs total. They're not getting the offense. Their starting pitching starting to struggle with the starting pitchers not going deep. That puts pressure on the bullpen as well. That all adds up to a lot of the same things going on right now for the Mets that is not spelling success. With that, we welcome in Chris from Locked On Mets. Again, some of the same things that have bothered this team continue to do just that.
If you've heard this one before, the New York Mets struggling to hit, especially with runners in scoring position. Their pitching not giving them the length and quality that they've used to, and not making those little plays. It's been the story of now a 6-game losing streak for the New York Mets as they lost to the Atlanta Braves by a final score of 7-1, make it 2 sweeps in a row. First, it was Tampa that got them. Now it is their division rival in the Atlanta Braves. I'm not ready to go full-blown panic city just yet, but there are some worrying signs. A pitching staff that is just depleted, overworked, and out of options. A lineup that can't seem to get hot. Lindor, Soto, Alonso, a combined 2 for 23 over the last 2 days. And oh, by the way, the Philadelphia Phillies, who now have tied them in the NL East standings, awaiting them Friday night. The Mets, This could get worse before it gets better. It will get better at some point. It needs to happen sooner rather than later, and hopefully it can come this weekend.
And Chris alluding to the fact that the Mets now have the Phillies, and they get to see an old teammate in Zach Wheeler. Doesn't get any easier for the Mets. You saw great pitching in the Atlanta series. Now you see Wheeler going in Game 1 Friday night. And
the thing about the Mets, a lot of this is self-imposed errors, right? Juan Soto got doubled off of first base in the 9th inning in one game. Luis Torrens had 2 bad plays that allowed runs to score yesterday. They walked 9 today. Braves scored 5 runs on those 9 walks. Like, it's just, including they twice walked a run in. Bases loaded and they walked a run in, one of them on 4 pitches. Just, it's all self-imposed errors at this point. But to his point, the staff is overworked. They've lost so many guys. The bullpen's just being run into the ground. What are they supposed to do? Because now they got to go try to contain a Philly offense that can be one of the better ones in baseball when they're on as well. Out of the frying pan into the fire, and then back into the frying pan next week for Atlanta.
We've been talking about pitching. That's been the theme for the Braves in their series sweep over the Mets. Phillies, low-scoring 1-run victory in Miami to wrap up their series against the Marlins on Thursday. They take 3 out of 4 in the series. Mark, Locked on Phillies, fighting once again, getting that strong pitching.
Pedro Suarez tossed 7 innings of 1-run baseball against the Marlins in Game 3 of this series. Christopher Sanchez, his fellow lefty, said, "Hold my cerveza." And he tossed 8 innings of 1-run baseball against the Marlins, helping the Phillies to a 2-1 victory and also winning 3 out of 4 against the Fish in Miami. Sanchez, the first Phillies pitcher this year to log 8 innings of work. He allowed just 5 hits, struck out 4. And how about this? A season-high 15 groundouts in his start. Phillies offense is a 2-1 victory, might indicate. Not really there for their starting pitcher, but there just enough. Kyle Schwarber stepped to the plate in the 8th inning with the score tied at 1, and he blasted a home run, his 23rd of the season, 428 feet to center field to break the tie. Orion Kerkering came on in relief in the 9th inning to close it out, did just that, his second career save and second save of this series.
Do me a favor here. Do you have Jeremiah Geiger from Locked on Marlins? Because I feel like taking out Cabrera and go into the pen, he might not be thrilled about that. I want to hear what he says.
Yeah. And again, this was a low-scoring game, and Jeremiah, who we hear from often with Locked on Marlins, did not like the move by Miami.
About to talk about one of the worst decisions I've seen from a Marlins manager in a long time. It's Jeremiah Geiger from the Locked on Marlins podcast. The Marlins are winning 1-0 in the 7th inning. Edward Cabrera is on cruise control. He is dominating this game. Gives up a leadoff infield single to Alec Boehm, and then immediately strikes out Nicholas Castellanos. And then what happens? Clayton McCullough gets out of the dugout and makes a pitching change. The issue, though, is his pitch count is at 82. Yeah, it's the 7th inning, but he's fine. He just struck out a guy. Let him continue. Let him dominate this baseball game. He wants to be out there. But no, the analytical model says, let's take him out and put in a lefty. They put in Cade Gibson. Max Kepler gets a base hit. They end up tying the game. And then Kyle Schwarber hits a home run in the 8th inning, and that's the difference in the game. The Phillies win 2-1. Leave Edward Cabrera in the ball game.
Steve, can we just real quick? It feels like today was a lot of managers doing too much. We were watching the Dodgers game as we were prepping the show, and Dave Roberts pinch hit for Mookie Betts, for Freddie Freeman, and for Will Smith. And Freeman and Smith are batting .340. What are we doing here?
Let's get them off their legs. Let's give them a little rest. No, that came back and kind of got you a little bit, didn't it?
My goodness.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Yeah. We're going to do Angels Yankees here to wrap up the first segment,
okay.
But let's do Padres Dodgers, and we're also going to get if we had time Brewers Cubs too. But Padres Dodgers. Padres hold on. They avoid being swept. They take the finale 5-3. We were both watching it as it went final. Dodgers leave runners at second and third. They had 6 hits the total game against Padres pitching, all singles. But again, we know these two teams don't like each other. Tatis Jr. gets hit in the top of the 9th inning. Schilt, Roberts, they go at each other. They get tossed. And then in the bottom half of the 9th inning, when things are starting to implode for the Padres, Suarez decides, I'm going to hit Ohtani here. Not the right time for that.
Yeah, I mean, he's up. He's down 3-0 in the count. And I guess he's like, well, if I'm going to walk him anyway, I might as well make him wear it. And he catches Ohtani like right under the armpit. And the first thing Ohtani does is he turns to the dugout. He's like, no. Like, you guys don't come out. Done. We're fine. Yeah. We're good. They threw Estrada out of the game. So they lost their closer. And Yuki Matsui has to come in with, I believe, no notice. He's warming up on the mound. And what would have been great is the tying run came up, he walked, and the winning run came up, but the tying run was Miguel Rojas, not Mookie Betts, and the winning run was Dalton Rushing, not Will Smith, because you pinch hit for them earlier in the game. Dalton Rushing strikes out, game over. It's like you had runners on second and third. You are I think you are the winning run.
Yep.
What are the odds Will Smith hits a homer there instead of Dalton Rushing? Like, come on.
So again, Padres do win the finale. Dodgers leave second and third in the bottom half of the ninth inning. That potential tying run left in scoring position, and the Padres do avoid the series sweep. Speaking of avoiding series sweeps, the Yankees able to take the finale on Thursday at home. Day baseball in the Bronx. They win the finale against the Angels. Jay Berman, host of Locked On Yankees postcast. Simple math for the Yankees. Score runs, provide some offense for your pitchers, and you can come away with a victory.
Yanks scored 6 total runs during their 6-game losing skid. Today against the Angels in the series finale, they scored 7. Yanks beat the Angels 7-3, and they snapped that losing skid. The Bombers got back-to-back home runs in the second inning from Trent Grisham and Paul Goldschmidt. It's the 6th time already this season the Yanks have gone back-to-back. How about Carlos Rodon? 6 strong innings, 3 earned. That's a quality start, despite the fact that all 3 runs coming via the solo home run. The first time this season, Rodon has allowed 3 homers. Yanks belted 12 hits, and again, they win it 7-3. In next, the Baltimore Orioles, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Again, Yanks beat the Angels on Thursday afternoon, 7-3, the final score.
Trout, Adele, and Ward all go deep for the Angels. They take 3 out of 4 in the series. You love that, but they did have an opportunity for that sweep, did not bring out the brooms.
Yeah, it's the Angels have clawed their way almost back to 500 now. They're 36-38 after this loss. And a lot of it, I feel like, has been Mike Trout being back to full health, being able to just, hit home runs at will. Taylor Ward's having a good season, but they just seem to not really have enough when they get to the end of a series. I feel like, anecdotally, it feels like they lose a lot of game 3s or game 4s simply because they've pushed all the buttons. They've used all the best relievers. And so now you call a guy in, they've seen him already, and they just can't seem to get it done. It's a little frustrating if you're an Angels fan, I'm sure.
Brewers, Cubs, their series cut short by a game, rained out on Wednesday. They're going to make that up after the All-Star break. Brewers do take the finale at Wrigley on Thursday. 8-7 the final. Caleb Durbin, 2-run home run in the second. That put the Brewers in front 4-2. Isaac Collins, 3-run home run in the 5th inning. That made it 8-3. Pete Crow Armstrong, Dansby Swanson, Ian Happ, all hitting home runs. Pete Crow Armstrong, number 20. We're not even close to the All-Star break right now.
If I saw this right, he's at 20-20 already. He has 20 stolen bases and 20 home runs, and it's June. This could be a 40-40 season. Like, we all just assume Shohei Ohtani is going to be the MVP in the National League. If PCA has a 40-40 year and plays generationally good defense in center field, he might win the MVP instead of Shohei Ohtani, and it would just be amazing to see somebody beat Shohei for that award.
Cubs right now 4-2 on their current 9-game homestand. They've got 3 against the Mariners this weekend at Wrigley. Brewers road trip continuing. They're in Minneapolis this weekend, 3 at Target Field against the Twins. Skeens and Skubal both started in Detroit on Thursday. They did not oppose one another. That's next. It's MLB Game Night.
For those of you who watch or listen to MLB Game Night in the morning, you may not realize we do this live after the last game of the night has gone final. And sometimes that can mean it's a long day. And that's why Trade Coffee is one of the best sponsors the Locked On Podcast Network could have. They're the #1 coffee destination in the U.S., delivering fresh, incredible coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. It doesn't matter how you drink it. You can be a cold brew fan, a pour-over purist, maybe you're a Chemex person. However you do it, they have a roast you'll love. I took the quiz from Trade. Took about a minute. They asked me questions about how I prepared it, how I drank it, the flavors I liked. And the first bag that they sent me, they absolutely nailed it. No worries if they don't. They will replace it for free until they get it right. But this bag, fresh, smelled amazing. And honestly, it kind of ruined grocery store coffee for me in the best way. These prices are comparable to grocery store brands, but the flavor is just so fantastic. So right now, Trade is offering our listeners 50% off your 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb. That's TRADE.com/lockedonmlb for 50% off your 1-month trial. That's drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb.
Back at it, MLB Game Night. Steve Lenox, Lindsay, Crosby, glad you're with us as we discuss and go around the majors from Thursday, June 19th. I had June 19th right off the top of my head because my wife's birthday, June 20th. That means it is it's officially underway for me. Anyway, let's get back to it. Skubal pitches game 1 for Detroit. We're going to get into this after we hear from Gary from Locked On Pirates. Skeens goes in game 2. Skubal gets the win in game 1, his 8th on the year. Skeens, they win in extra innings, but Paul Skeens with another no decision.
Who do we have to complain to for somebody to change their pitching plan so it's Skubal versus Skeens? What are we doing here?
Yeah, I want more on this, but missed opportunity. I think we're at 100% in agreement. Let's hear from Gary, Locked On Pirates, as the Pirates do win the nightcap and garner a split of the Twin Bill.
The Pirates win the nightcap in what turned out to be a really, really chippy affair in Detroit to split this doubleheader and finally win another game that Paul Skeens started. It was a good thing. Hey, this is Gary from Locked On Pirates. Boy, I'm going to have a lot to cover tomorrow just covering this doubleheader. First, it's been a really long day of baseball. This was all supposed to start at 1:05, and it got pushed back initially to miss some rain, and they ended up starting it right when rain started, which didn't make much sense. But that game was ancient history by now. Tonight's game, Paul Skeens started, finally got some run support, 4 runs. He gave up a couple runs, had one inning that just nothing went his way. The umpire seemed to miss some calls. There was some awkward things happening on the base path. As frustrated as I've seen him, honestly. And pushed through it, pitched a great game. Pirates bullpen blew the 2-run lead they did have. Took this one to the extra innings where the Pirates just exploded off of the rain delay that got called in the bottom of the 9th. My goodness, it's the worst. The Pirates are trying to get out of town. It's getaway day. It's supposed to be anyway. Oh, man. Good to get the win. Good to get the win in a Paul Skeens start. Split the doubleheader. Tough opponent. We'll see if how they fare at home against the Rangers. More on this tomorrow. Locked On Pirates.
I don't understand. Paul Skeens has 9 straight starts of 2 runs or less. This is like his 3rd straight no decision. Like he can't seem to get run support. It's the Jacob deGrom with the Mets thing all over again. Yamamoto with the Dodgers. They've scored 0 or 1 runs in like 6 or 7 of his starts.
Hey, hopefully I'm long for this earth, and Paul Skeens is going to go into the Hall of Fame and have the Hall of Fame career that we're anticipating. And then the 5 years after he goes into the Hall of Fame, his win-loss record is, I'm content with this at this point in our life, in my lifetime. That win-loss record, DeGrom, Skeens, you're not going to look at it. You're going to look at a lot of different numbers, maybe some numbers that haven't even been invented yet by the analytics people, who Jeremiah Geiger is going to get on, by the way, just like us. But, Skeens is just, they're not a winning ball club. And right now, the record doesn't matter. All of his other numbers are just off the charts.
Yeah. Flip side on this one, Tarik Skubal allows 3 walks and 2 runs, which feels like a lot for him.
Yeah, he got roughed up.
5 and 2/3, all the rain delays and things like that. But it happens. It happens.
Moving on, Twins Reds in Cincinnati, and the Reds lose out on an opportunity to pick up the sweep. It doesn't happen, but that doesn't mean Jeff Carr, who was at the yard, didn't have a good day, because we know any day at the yard is a good day.
Well, the Cincinnati Reds forced 14 stranded runners for the Minnesota Twins, and they scored 5 runs. It's just they also gave up 12 runs. What's up? This is Jeff Carr from the Locked On Reds podcast. And the Reds couldn't quite finish out the sweep of the Minnesota Twins here on Thursday afternoon, but they still got that series win. And now they head to St. Louis looking for another series win of even more importance. But this was a tough day for Nick Martinez. He gave up 3 home runs against the Detroit Tigers in his most recent outing. And he gave up 3 home runs today against the Minnesota Twins, and he didn't finish the 3rd inning. And so you're looking at this and you're kind of wondering where Nick Martinez goes from here, because we've seen this trend of relief pitchers turn starting pitchers that have to go back to the bullpen. I don't know if we're there yet with him, but we might be at least thinking about it. That's going to be something for future Reds decision makers to make. We'll see what the Reds have for the Cardinals.
It feels
Minnesota.
Like oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
It feels like you're good for like 130 innings with those guys. Martinez is already I think he's at like 80. He's at 83 already. Like you don't have many more innings on him unless you're going to blow through that. And you have games like this where he just has no control. He's throwing meatballs and they're crushing them with 7 earned runs.
Twins avoid the series sweep. They snap a 6-game losing streak. 17 hits total, 10 extra base hits, and Byron Buxton. Love seeing Byron Buxton have a day at the plate.
2 homers and a double. He finally healthy. He's been healthy all year. If you can get Royce Lewis to the same place that Byron Buxton is, this Twins offense can be what we thought they could have been with a healthy Correa, a healthy Byron Buxton, and a healthy Royce Lewis. It's just you've got Buxton, and that's the only one of the 3 you have that's playing to their potential.
Reds 3 at St. Louis this weekend. Twins now home for 7, 3 against the Brewers, and 4 more against the Seattle Mariners. The Nationals' 11-game losing streak is now a thing of the past. It is in the rearview mirror. James Wood decided enough was enough with one great big swing of the bat. Ryan, Locked On Nationals, has the details.
You need James Wood the most? The kid is going to come through. Walk-off home run to break the Nationals' 11-game losing streak in the bottom of the 11th. Guys, the Nats might be back. I'm Ryan Clary from Locked On Nationals, and as we just said, when you need a big hit in a big game, James Wood in a game-winning situation, the kid comes through. Forget about all the talks about losing. This team might be back. I'm kidding. We need a lot of work to do moving forward, but you can build off this James Wood win, and also Brady House continues to be really good in the top of the 10th inning there. A couple of really nice plays for the kid. He's really starting to look like that Matt Chapman comp that we've talked about all week long. So stay tuned to Locked On Nationals. We'll have much more on tomorrow's show as the Nationals are back in the win column.
James Wood, first career walk-off home run, and with that, his 3rd career 2-home run game as well.
Is it just me, or does he feel like a kind of guy that you need to sign to an extension before he gets really expensive?
Yes. And I think the Nationals, ownership and all that stuff, this is a guy you build around, and whether the learners stay in place or they do, ultimately sell this team, the new ownership group is going to want a guy like James Wood. He is the future. He is the present and future of this club, and the marketing campaigns are just started with him.
And they'll spend money. They tried to sign Juan Soto. They gave Strasburg that deal. They'll spend the money. It's better than you could say for somebody like the Cubs, who haven't really been able to, to do their big deals you'd think they should be able to do. We'll see what they do with Kyle Tucker this year, but just sign James Wood already. Come on, let's do it.
Rocky season high 4-game win streak coming to an end. Nationals now on the road for the next 9. So we'll see if Ryan, as he was saying sarcastically, they're back and ready to go. 3 in LA against the Dodgers, 3 in San Diego against the Padres, 3 back in the LA area in Anaheim against the Angels during this, what's going to be a 9-game road trip. Couple more games to wrap up here, segment number 2.
Yep, Diamondbacks at Blue Jays. Diamondbacks take the finale 9-5, meant that they avoided a sweep by the Blue Jays. Ryan Nelson now in the rotation because of all these injuries. 5 2/3, 1 hit, 1 run. The 1 hit was an Alejandro Kirk homer in the 2nd. Kirk had another solo shot in the 7th and an RBI single in the 8th. But again, Diamondbacks hold on to win this. Corbin Carroll did not play in this game. He had a hit by a pitch on the hand yesterday. think they said x-rays were negative, but they held them out. They also lost catcher Gabriel Moreno to the IL on Wednesday as well. So we talk about teams that are potentially going to decide if they have to buy or sell in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Watch the Diamondbacks because they've been losing some games and they're losing players.
Athletics 6-4 win in 10 at home in West Sacramento against the Houston Astros. Nick Kurtz played the role of hero, 2-run home run. That came off Astros closer Josh Hader. 5th walk-off win of the season for the Athletics. Kurtz might want to start throwing his name around there for AL Rookie of the Year. Jacob Lopez for the Athletics, solid 6 innings, 1 earned run, and 9 strikeouts. Cardinals taking 2 from the White Sox on Thursday, and the Giants able to avoid a series sweep at home against the Guardians. We've got the details next.
Sometimes you get to the end of the workday and you're like, you know what? I want to go see a baseball game. I want to go with these friends or family. And you just decide, I want to be in the stands. That is exactly where Game Time comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without the stress. They make buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch. They've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, you can splurge on drinks, merch, or even invite more friends to come with you. Game Time makes it possible, and they are the official ticketing partner of Locked On MLB for a reason. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code Locked On MLB for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Double dip, Cardinals, White Sox in Chicago on Thursday. The Cardinals take 2. They needed extra innings to win the nightcap and complete the doubleheader sweep against the White Sox. JD, Locked On Cardinals, and one of the hosts with us here on MLB Game Night with the details as the Cardinals take a pair.
Nolan Arenado hits a historic home run as the St. Louis Cardinals sweep the doubleheader in Chicago and sweep the series against the White Sox. Hey, it's JD from Locked On Cardinals, and after coming from behind in Game 1 to get the 5-4 victory, the Cardinals decided, let's flip the script and blow a big lead before getting the win in 10 innings in Game 2. The Cardinals got home runs from Alec Burleson and Nolan Arenado to jump out to a 6-1 lead. Nolan Arenado's was his 350th of his Hall of Fame career, making him just the 7th player in Major League history with 350-plus home runs and 10 or more Gold Gloves. Michael McGreevy got the spot start. He was strong over 5 innings, but the bullpen coughs up the lead on a grand slam by Andrew Benintendi. In the 10th inning, an RBI single by Arenado gave the Cardinals a 7-6 lead. Then you get a solo blast from Lars Nootbaar. He adds the insurance. Cards win at 8-6. A day to remember for Andre Granillo. Gets his first Major League win in Game 1 and then first Major League save in Game 2. Big sweep for the Cardinals, who now host the Reds for 3 in St. Louis. For the latest updates and info, be sure to keep it Locked On Cardinals.
So much for saving those pitchers. Let's use you twice in one day.
Is Nolan Arenado a Hall of Famer? I had never really thought about. He doesn't have the counting stats. He has the defense. He's one of those platinum gloves. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Hey, I grew up in an era where 300 home runs gave you real credibility for a Hall of Fame. I was going to pose a question to you: does he get to 400? If he gets to 400 career home runs, yes. And I don't want to just leave it on that number. But how do you keep him out if he reaches 400 career home runs? I don't care that he played at Coors Field to start his career.
Yeah, I mean
he's trending, but he has more to do. Can I leave it at that? For me, that's
I'll
just
take
me
that.
personally.
Trending, but more to do. I'll take that. Yeah, that makes sense.
He's got a ways to go, though. And I wonder where his bat does go. White Sox get swept. Andrew Benintendi did have a 2-out grand slam in Game 2. That tied the game at 6-6. Again, Cardinals come back in Game 1 and win it in extra innings in Game number 2. Guardians, Giants. Guardians were looking for the series sweep in the Bay Area on Thursday. Did not happen. Giants take the finale 2-1. The win, snapping the Giants' 4-game losing streak. And with that, we're going to hear from Justin Latta, Locked On Guardians. Guardians had their opportunity for the series sweep, just couldn't pull it off.
Today, another low-scoring loss for the Cleveland Guardians. Not really a surprise. They faced Logan Webb against the Giants. Kind of what we thought. But despite that low-scoring game for the Guardians, just 1 run, they did have a chance to win the game, sort of. It's Justin Latta from Locked On Guardians. The Guardians had a 1-0 lead going into the 7th inning. Gavin Williams had a great game, pitched really good. They only had 1 run early on. But Stephen Vogt chose to go to Matt Festa for a third day in a row. Kate Smith not available because he pitched 2 days in a row, but Matt Festa also pitched 2 days in a row. So he comes in, struggled to get any outs there. He got 1 sacrifice bunt out. Then they decided to go to Nick Enright, who hadn't been used. And then they decided to go to Jacob Junis after they were already losing. So I'm not really sure what the order of operations here is for Stephen Vogt in the bullpen, going to a guy 3 days in a row, one guy 3 days in a row, and not another guy 3 days in a row who's unarguably a better pitcher. And then going to less leverage guys once you've already gotten into an ugly spot and losing. Could have just used them earlier. Guardians bullpen's a little bit shallow these days. That's not great. But either way, you got to score more than 1 run to win. And the Guardians still took 2 or 3 in the series, so you'll take it. Gavin pitched a great game. Had some decent hits from Angel Martinez. Guardians, if they do that again in Sacramento this weekend, it'll be really good. 2 or 3 can get back on track before they come home. Bullpen operation and situations got to get a little bit better too. Tune in to Locked On Guardians for more wherever you get podcasts.
Over managing a trend today.
Yeah, theme of the day, right? Yeah. And again, it's going to happen. I always say managers and pitching coach know their teams better than us, but right now we know some of these bullpens that are just absolutely gassed. Wilmer Flores did have a pinch hit 2-run double in the 7th inning. That proved to be the difference for the Giants. Again, they avoid being swept at home by the Guardians and also snap that 4-game losing streak. We're wrapping up. I'll take Royals Rangers. The Royals are able to pull off a series sweep on the road. They win all 3 in Arlington, Texas against the Rangers, take the final 4-1. Michael Wacha on track, 6 innings, gave up 1 earned run, 4th win on the season. Jac Caglianone story in this one, a couple of home runs, his first 2 at the big league level. Kansas City, first road sweep of the Rangers in Arlington, Texas since 2003. It had been a while.
Yeah. All right. Orioles at Rays. Orioles split the series. It's a 4-1 victory there in Tampa. Colton Cowser, 3-run home run in the 6th. Charlie Morton is proving that reports of his demise have been greatly exaggerated. 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Knowing Morton like I do, he probably hit a guy with the curveball in the back foot in there as well. Big story here. Reliever Hunter Biggie took a foul ball in the face in the dugout. Had to go to the hospital, 105 mile an hour to the face for further evaluation. He's supposed to be okay. But just little scary scene there, but Orioles get the win. They split this. Let's see if they can continue to climb out of the basement of the AL East.
Final swing. One final thought.
Managers, you know what? Stop trying so hard. Just you don't have to pull a dude just because he hits the 3rd time through the order if he's doing really well. We just you don't have to, you should never be pinch hitting for Freddie Freeman. That should never happen in a baseball game. So stop trying so hard. Let your studs be studs, right? Like play with the horse that got you there. Let them do their thing. Don't pinch hit for Freddie Freeman. Don't pull a dude at 82 pitches when he's given up 3 hits.
And to Lindsay's point, it's not just your team. It's throughout baseball.
Everybody's doing this for some reason, and it's dumb.
Hey, that is a wrap for us. MLB Game Night, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Don't forget, if you're watching with us on the Locked On MLB YouTube channel, hit that notification button. You'll get alerts as to when we go live every single night with MLB Game Night. Every game, every night.